Paradigm Review Show. Welcome back to the channel. Like, subscribe, share. Zodiac Files, episode 4 coming soon. Buy our comic book, The Dark Rift, Volume 1. We've got Gaz Butt. This is the Fast 10 Roast, a.k.a. Slow X. We got my man Wall Street with us of Twitch.tv/Planet X Games fame, Streets of Rage 4 fame, a.k.a. Mike. And he's leader of our Fast and Fucked division of PXM. We don't even swear on this channel, but there's only one way to say that. So, boys, not much to say on this one. It's an extremely straightforward, surface level film, but you know what I mean. It is what it is. I'll pull it up on IMDb. You guys can feel free to get us started on your initial thoughts of like what you thought going into the trailer and how it lived up to the film once you got in the theater. Start with you, Mike.
Initial thoughts were, I thought it was going to be more of the same. I mean, we're talking about a series of 10 movies here. There's some good action. Yeah, I expected some good action, good special effects, bad acting, maybe worse new characters. But I went into it, I guess with an average kind of perspective. And yeah, I'll get into how I felt afterwards, but that was just like my initial thoughts.
Yeah, for sure. How about you guys?
Yeah, well, after recently, at long last, seeing Whack 9, I thought, God, this can't be any worse.
I thought you should follow it up with Whack 10 immediately after.
Yeah, exactly. I thought just when I thought I need to be. Yeah, pretty much the same. I was thinking, what ridiculousness are they going to do this time, stunt-wise?
Yeah.
Are they going to fly to the moon again in a rip-off, knock-off DeLorean?
Maybe make it all the way to Mars this time.
Yeah.
What technology have they updated? How far can they get?
Back to Future 1 came out.
This is how ridiculous these movies are. I can't even get through a sentence. Struggling to keep a straight face, man.
It's hard to take
pretty much the same. Pretty much the same as mine, going in there not expecting much, and oh boy, they certainly didn't disappoint. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just want to say I kind of feel like the franchise kind of hit its peak at 7. That was obviously Paul's last film. I didn't like 8 at all. I thought it kind of started falling off, and then Whack 9 was just like an in-between filler between 8 and this. But yeah, we're not going to worry about spoilers on this review, guys, because it's a fast movie. So it's just like, if you've seen one, you've seen them all, as Mike was just saying. So sometimes and think about it, it's kind of weird because like, look at how many characters there are already. Like, and then so that, like Mike was saying, they introduce new characters in each film, but now we're on 10. So if you keep all the new characters that you've introduced in each film, you're gonna have like 1 million characters by 11 and 12. You know what I mean? And that's another thing this movie suffered from much like people were complaining about like Avengers and those Marvel like super posse movies where you have 10 heroes. Nobody really gets enough screen time to really be like the main character. And it's like who's this movie about? Like, you know what I mean? Obviously it's Dom in Fast, but even his screen time, I feel like it was like not that much compared. If you divide it among every single character in the film.
But do you think the majority of his screen time was him practicing keeping that stoic pose to demonstrate the power of that shirt that never gets dirty? Unwashable. He's stood there, unwashable,
bulletproof. You name
it. The test of time.
Fireproof.
How many decades has the universe been going now? Because that shirt is lasting. I want to buy that brand.
2 decades.
It becomes part of you. That's going to be the advertisement for it. When you buy this shirt, you become one for life.
Yeah. It's I don't know what was going on, guys, but absolutely jump in the if you guys have any questions for us in the chat, and feel free to leave comments below. So let's get into this abomination. I'll pull it up on IMDb, and we'll do again. So I guess I'll just start with what I thought was the good, because there's not that much of it in this film, other than Vin Diesel. He did great, and Momoa really good. But I'd say what Mike said, like the editing, I guess the editing and definitely the budget and special effects, without a doubt, the best part of the film. Without a doubt, special effects were the best part of the film. Now, that being said, it's 2 hours and 21 minutes. Dom Toretto and his family are targeted by a vengeful son of a drug kingpin known as Hernan Reyes. And that character is obviously Dante, who's obviously Jason Momoa. But anyway, the film is simply too long, guys. You know what I mean? There's absolutely no reason for a meathead action racing movie to be almost 3 hours long. You know what I mean? And I'm just going to kind of dive right in. So, as you mentioned this, the Rome sequence, I think it's like Act 1, right? Like, I thought was by far the best sequence in the movie. And then after that, it kind of suffered. Like, it's almost like that Rome sequence should have been the climax. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and instead they blew it. They blew their wad right in the first act. And I don't know. It was a dope sequence, but it was like not nearly as long as the 2 hours that follow the movie of when you're waiting for Dom to go back to Rome for, Momoa to blow it up again, Like, I don't know what you guys thought, agreed, or...
Well, that opening scene, and this is good because I don't have to behave myself for once, so I really can spoil it.
No, feel free to let loose.
Anyway, Dom's team get tricked into going to Rome to do an operation, I think, for Lil Nobody, because Mr. Nobody's missing, isn't he, at the moment? And there's this ridiculous scene where there's a bomb the size of like this giant rolling ball, and they're literally playing pinball with it using cars through the streets of Rome. And then the climax of this scene is Dom in his car jumping off a bridge, hitting the crane to knock this ball into the river, straight out of a pinball sequence to the car. And I saw that and I just thought, I'm tired of this, man. I've seen every one of these shitty movies and I used to sit there and enjoy them and laugh. And now, pretty much as you said, Ross, after 7, I'm done.
Hold on. I think Vin had a line for that, though. They were like, give it up, Dom. You tried everything. And he was like, not everything. And he hit the nos, and then he hit that crane. You missed a key detail there, guys.
There's that delivery, and that gets emphasized throughout the movie. There's so many lines that we're going to get into to roast. I've got them all on mental file. And then we see, I thought Momoa was excellent in this part where he was like kind of doing his little dance, overlooking the River Tiber and Rome. It's like, I've took a ridiculous amount of money to appear in this shitty movie.
I mean, he looked like he was having a ball because what they paid him to basically do nothing, freestyle that role. It's like he made up all his lines practically,
Pretty much. I've got to give straight off the bat 10 out of 10 for authenticity with languages. So the scenes that are set in Brazil, and I understood every word as well. They were speaking Spanish, yet in Brazil they speak Portuguese. So I was like, I think you've missed a little key note there.
I got something on that too. But anyway, so when Momoa is riding through the streets on the motorcycle, he's singing those opera songs and he's like swearing at people in Italian and like, dude, like that. He was absolutely hilarious. That might have been his best sequence. And then he's talking to those other guys and he's like, so what do you guys want to blow up next? And he's just like answering for them. He's like, the Vatican, you guys are going to hell. And so many funny lines, so many cringy, funny dialogues. But then he blows it up. Hey, you got anything, Mike?
I just reiterate the same comments you guys had. Like at first I thought the sequence was really cool. I thought the shots of Rome were pretty epic as well. Just that as a setting is cool. So I'm like, the movie starts off and you're like, all right, this is gonna be pretty good. You get a little piece of Momoa. You can already see what his energy is gonna be like, and it's funny. And I thought the driving, like Vin Diesel, what was it? Scott Eastwood was in the truck as well. He should have been in it more because I like him as an actor. He was good in his tiny part. And then his wife was kind of weaving in and out of the rolling ball in the car, along with a whole gun sequence. So I thought that part was cool. But Gaz, I completely agree with you. As soon as it got to the bridge and that stupid crane, like it just looked cheesy to me. Like he hits the car, it hits the crane perfectly. It swings over and knocks the ball into the river there where it explodes. And it just, as soon as that happened, I'm like, okay, this is the level of cheesy bullshit that I expect.
I didn't even mind it because the Fast franchise suspends all reality in the action verse. So I'm just like, yeah, okay, sure. Dom Toretto can do that.
Even after he drops the first of the many cringe lines and the bomb explodes and you see the car outracing the explosion and Dom's keeping his focused stoic face. I've got another 2 hours of this movie yet. I'm going to give it all.
Yeah. And then, man, I forget what happens at the end there, but he rides the explosion, like Gaz was saying, like past, or doesn't he like nos past those guards or something? He does something stupid there. I forgot what it was. But I without a doubt thought that was probably the best the best sequence of the movie.
I must admit, as cheesy as it was, I did like Michelle Rodriguez's X Games stunts on the bike when Momo was chasing it.
Yeah, Momo was good.
Straight taken from the X Games. I did like that. As I say, the way the built up to the rolling ball, if you like, was good. The pursuit through the streets. Mikey totally on with the cameras, everything that was good. But when that ball started to literally roll, you just like,
and driving down all those Roman steps, like I'm sure that wouldn't have like blew the axles on every single one of those cars. But then Momoa is like, he's like, hey Dom, he's like, did you see what I did with the explosion? He was like, that was, or the bomb. He was like, that was an homage to when you guys stole my dad's safe. He's like, only my bomb was on fire, but didn't the bomb light on fire because it rolled through something that created an explosion? So like he didn't know it was gonna light on fire. Then he took credit for it in a line. Rick, what up? I just thought that was peculiar, funny plot hole.
Definitely, what up, Rick?
And there's plenty more of those, and hilarious more dialogue. After that, it's pretty. I thought the scene when Michelle Rodriguez and Cypher, whatever her name is, were stuck in that nuclear sub base or the Antarctica base. I thought that was totally garbage. That most of it should have been cut out. Most of that could have been cut out because by that time it was just getting so long.
Did you think it was funny though, man, where Michelle Rodriguez popped up in the Antarctic, just to check the weather? It's like it doesn't feel cold at all.
Yeah, so it's no shit. The sub-zero temperature.
She hadn't thought that one through. I did think it was funny though. I was like, you're going back in.
Yeah.
John Cena was epic in this movie. I thought he was probably one of the best characters, Uncle Jacob.
Yeah, he was. He was another one who was like, I'm going to overact it and play this up and just basically have fun.
Exactly.
I mean, I'll get to his kind of standout moment towards the end of the movie when we get to that where you almost feel like they inserted that scene to make up for the middle of the movie not having anything like the first act.
100%. Yeah, that whole investigation sequence of just like the whole filler middle was just like terrible. It was so uneventful and so slow paced. What else was I trying to think of that happened there? Oh, so the meathead guy we were talking about, Gaz, that Jack guy who was the leader of the agency that took over for Mr. Nobody. So he's in that room with all the LCD screens, and he's like talking to whoever that agent. Oh, I think that was Brie Larson, wasn't it, Gaz? Like apparently Brie Larson was in this movie. She was so non-noticeable that I watched the entire film and totally forgot. It took me weeks again to remember that was Brie Larson because she had gone out and promoted it. But anyway, so that guy is like, he's like, what about 2003 when Dom and Paul stole this? And then like he plays like every single one of their missions, and I'm just thinking to myself like, dude, that's an empty room with a bunch of big screens in it. Like probably no special agent would ever use. And I guess like, yeah, if you're watching real time like footage that you're monitoring, you'd be using a room like that. But it was just an empty room with all those screens set up. I'm like, this is so fake. Like, why would like a spec ops guy he'd be planning missions and out in the field, not standing in a room with a million TVs in it? Like, what is this, the Matrix? Like, I was just like, come on, give me a break. Look good.
He did have an epic cringe line though. What was it? Which was this is what I thought was funny about it. Momoa and that meathead guy you just mentioned had two lines that are actually roasting these movies. What was it the meathead said in that room? Something like, everyone who joins Dominic Toretto, they get turned, and and he's going, telling the audience about who's going over the side, and he said it's like all this power of family. It's like a cult on wheels. I did laugh at that. I thought, yeah, he's even saying, look, I know these are crowd.
Cult on wheels. God, that's good. Holy crap. That guy was hilarious. That guy was awesome.
He's funny.
Yeah, that dude. Yeah, between him and Momoa, I'd never seen him before, but I guess Mike had said he'd seen him in something. And here's something else we got to roast on. Those stupid callbacks where every time they make a reference to Fast 7, they have to take the camera all the way back and show you the flashback on screen. So when I think that guy's name was Ames. They had to go show James was in the office with Dante, and they were there together when Dom and Paul stole his dad's safe. I'm like, how many reminders are you going to give me? Like, you know what I mean? They did like 3 or 4 flashbacks, and I'm like, dude, that's why this movie is 2.5 hours long, because you don't need to go explain how it relates to Fast 7. They played the whole beginning of Fast 7 in the beginning of Fast 10 again for their second time. So if you've already seen Fast 7, you saw the beginning again for a second time, then they remind you a million times, oh, this movie is a direct sequel to Fast 7. I almost forgot on the 5th reminder. Mac, what up?
Oh, there we go. What up, Mac?
What did I miss? Sorry, everybody.
Just jump in, man. We're just
just at the beginning.
We were roasting the flashbacks of how they kept flashing back and showing how Ames and Dante were working together in Fast 7, and then they kept flashing back, and then the movie was 2.5 hours because they kept flashing back. That's the part we're on right now.
And we're building up to the lesson in family, because the whole movie felt like I was locked in the garage with Dominic Toretto with a rented chalkboard, and he's pointing at the word family with a wrench and saying, "Gaz, are you ready for your lesson? Do you understand yet?"
He was going to make you watch him work on Cars for Eternity, Gaz. It was a fate. But we talked about the Rome sequence, Mac. If you had anything on the Rome sequence, we all thought it was probably the best part, and then the movie just never regained its steam after they went to Rome. It just kind of unraveled after that.
Well, I'll say this much. I mean, I thought Rome was a good setting, but I think the way they did it, obviously, was the regular freaking Fast and Furious formula way of doing it, and that's pretty much. What we just witnessed.
So I mean, Vin went pretty fast. We were also talking about the new additions, Mac. Obviously, Ames, he was that big Australian meathead guy who's the leader of the agency. He was pretty funny. We thought Cena was we thought the better characters were like Momoa, Cena, Ames. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, Cena, I'll give a little credit for that one, just for keeping me tuned in.
Scott.
And
Scott Eastwood.
Scott Eastwood, yeah.
Yeah.
But let's not forget about the crowning cornball of them all, Jason Momoa.
But no, as you said, though, that's what they paid him for, and that's the kind of, if you're going to pay a guy like Momoa for an overacting villain, he brought exactly what they wanted.
I know, for y'all tuning in, that Ross probably already said it, but yeah, that's basically my thoughts right there. Was he knew what he was doing? He thought, you know what, I'm getting paid to do this, so I'm gonna give him the best.
I'm gonna give him what they want.
Fast villain, exposition ever, and that's exactly what he did. I don't know what Ben was talking about when he said, "Oh, he ruined the movie with his overacting, acting like." None of your freaking cast wasn't overacting either.
It's a fast movie. Nobody's acting. It's fast.
It's not freaking. There will be blood part freaking 2 here.
I know, right? This isn't Daniel Day-Lewis. He's got freaking Ludacris and Tyrese Gibson in there.
Oh God, don't get me started on those.
Momoa is the overactor. What about Ludacris? He can't even act without overacting. You know what I mean?
Charlize Theron sucked too.
Dude. Yeah, her character was corny, man.
She was so bad.
Her storyline ran out. They should stop. They should not be still bringing her back in Fast 10. You know what I mean? Her character
just came in and literally just took all her technology from her. That was the only purpose of her being in the movie.
She did nothing. She did nothing. Go ahead, guys.
I was going to say it's got so bad. Tyrese even looks like he's in pain, like I'm trapped in these movies. I'm going to do my same cornball jokes, which just don't land anymore.
It's gotten so bad that Tyrese did an okay job acting in this one because this franchise has been so long that Tyrese was able to learn how to act between 2 and 10. And now he's fairly decent compared to the rest of the cast.
And Vin Diesel is complaining about me more. I mean, you could write down the dialogue that Vin Diesel has had in his movie career on one page. So, I mean, it's hardly one to brag
Starting with The Last Witch Hunter. Okay, so getting back to okay, so Mac, we didn't talk about the epic was it Rio when they went to Brazil? Actually, you know what? The director was actually pretty good. I'm not going to lie. He had some pretty good transitions and some pretty good sequences, and he did a good job showing the cities and whatnot. So when they go to Rio, they have an epic street race. Mac, would you like to cover that one? Because I believe your boy Dante was dressed in a pretty fruity purple garb in that scene.
Yo, you dressed up like he was a genie in a lamp. Like
he looked like
this isn't Aladdin.
Like Jesus. Look, I'll say this much though. That's what added on to the over goofiness of Fast. But at the end of the day though, wasn't that what Fast started as? Drag racing, illegal
Fast one.
So, and the reason why I thought I really liked this scene is just because it stuck to what it needed to be right then and there, that one scene, and not some freaking the top elite street racing team will turn into top elite government employees, agents, roaming around the world doing crazy. Yeah, dude, it doesn't make any sense.
It makes perfect sense, Mac. It's the
in the Fast franchise, it may make sense, but logic, reality.
My favorite part was like when Vin Diesel. Sorry, guys, just real quick. My favorite part was when when Dom Toretto was like, "Could somebody contact Mr. Nobody for us?" And they were like, "Oh, we can't find. Nobody can find Mr. Nobody. He hasn't been seen in years." So it was just like that random like Kurt Russell reference, and I was like, thought maybe he would cameo. But I guess maybe they're going to try to get him in the next one if they could afford him. I don't know. I don't know what that was. It was like a dead end, I was like, where is he?
I think the real power is this unlimited budget, isn't it?
Yeah. What was that, Mike?
I was about to say, I think your boy Hobbs might be coming back.
Oh, dude, we're going to cover that at the end, dude. That's the corniest thing. I don't know. That's one of the corniest things they did in the whole movie. The after credit scene was complete garbo. Actually, but some of the cars were pretty sick. I did like that purple one Momoa had on the bridge. That was pretty nasty. You know what I mean? There definitely was a couple cool cars. One of the few compliments I could give the film. You'd at least at the bare minimum expect a couple good cars. But I don't know. Pretty much nothing happens through that whole middle sequence. Pretty much until they get back to the bridges. And do that when they chase Dom across the highways, or I guess they kidnap Dom's son, you know what I mean? And then there's the whole thing with unless anybody has anything in between.
Yes.
The whole scene with Cena and Dom's son launching the rockets out of whatever the hell that thing was. It's like a micro machine, Hot Wheels, crazy rocket launcher.
Well, you know what? In 9, they really did amp up the family aspect, where every 5 minutes they were giving you a lesson in family, which they still did in 10.
Yeah.
But in this one, they also overemphasized little B, little B, little B, little B. I thought I'm going to change my name to Little G, maybe it can be more relevant and powerful. It's like every 5 minutes, little B, little B.
Yeah.
And when we get to that end scene, I really did think it was a rip-off of Mad Max, featuring John Cena.
But that ending was so sick, though.
Yeah, guys, didn't you like it when he got lit up like the Statue of Liberty, almost having people thinking he died?
What was that, man?
It looked like he did die.
I don't know, but look, the reason why I say this though is just because that's his brother. First of all, you know what I mean, and second, it's like, okay, if it's that easy to kill off his brother, then you would kill off all the other Fast characters in the Fast movies and all that, but then bring him right back later on, and then they're okay now, you know. So let's.
Oh wait, I got one more before. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know though. I mean, how would you survive that though, Mac? You know what I mean? Like, there's kind of no way. You know, that's like how Jack's
fast, bro. It's
in the Fast universe, they'll make it happen.
He pull a Chris Angel and fly above the clouds, or we're gonna film it from right away. What was I gonna say? That Jason Statham scene, the random out of no. Well, okay, 2 stupid ass cameos. Pete Davidson. I hate that kid. He's so annoying. He's so you know which kid he was, Mac?
I know exactly who he is. Yeah, I know who he was. I know.
And he gave what's his name, the hallucinogenic muffin. What's that dude's name?
And of course he ended up being a rat, just like
yeah.
Kid's a clown.
That's why Kanye hates him. Han. So Han started tripping on the fun muffins because he started eating the edibles and he tripped out. And then Pete Davidson his jokes were so corny. He's such a douchebag. It was the wackest cameo ever. And then the Jason Statham cameo back, the one that you were talking about, like.
Dude, I didn't like it, and I already told you because it was way too short.
Gimmicky.
It was gimmicky. Obviously, they threw him on there because he was all part of the franchise.
He's a fan favorite. Everybody likes Shaw.
Fan favorite, exactly. And you know, he even has his own movie with The Rock. You know, how the show
spin-off. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know what I mean. Like it would make sense for him to be in there, but if you're gonna be in there, it's figured to be a little more involvement or a little more longer. Don't get me wrong, his action sequence was good, but it wasn't nothing new. It wasn't nothing.
Yeah, it's PG-13 action. You've seen it in every
exactly.
You've seen it in every PG-13 action movie.
I didn't wowed by it anyway, so it's like, Jason Statham is there, nice, okay. So who's next? You know, that's how I looked at it.
Yeah. I felt the same way. I thought that I didn't like how they introduced him. Like, you know, he was like hiding out in that room. And that was kind of corny a little bit. The fight between him and Han was all right. Mac, I think you were saying the same.
It started with them and then they got raided.
Jason's hand-to-hand is sick, but it was too quick, like whack introduction to him and his character. The scene was too quick. And Ross, I brought this up to you right after the movie. Then all of a sudden he just leaves. He's like, okay, cool, we're good. And then he goes, all right, I have to go save Mom. Gets in the car, drives away. You don't hear.
That's what I thought was corny. It was like so the Han and Shaw fight was super forced, like just for like, hey, we just got to get Shaw in the movie. And like Mac was saying, if you're going to have Shaw in the movie, how are Ludacris and Tyrese main characters in the family, but Shaw is not, and he can actually fight. He's one of the best drivers.
Yeah,
doesn't make any sense, right?
Really?
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Y'all remember when they first introduced Shaw, right? They made him out to be like this unstoppable force.
Yeah,
he's an unstoppable villain.
Here, and it's like just an extra now. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's like a background.
Do you feel that's just teasing? Do you feel that's just teasing that he's going to be in 11?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. But why put someone? Yeah, why put someone in one scene? So this is my problem. They fight off the raid, right, on some like raid redemption type ish, and then getting the warehouse raided, and then like Mike said, he loads up all these guns and weapons right in front of him. So I thought he was gonna go with the family to help the final mission, and then he's like,
"Gonna be sick.
I gotta go save Mom, lad," and he just drives away. Go save me, Mom. And I was just like, "What? Like what? Like did the director write this movie, or was the whole story Vin Diesel? You know what I mean? Like I don't get it. You know what I mean? So that was corny, but go guys.
They might open up 11 with The Rock and Shaw going to rescue his mum or something.
Probably, yeah. Probably.
I agree. Yeah. I think so
too. I wouldn't be surprised. So fast forward to Cena. He has this. What the heck was that thing, Mike? It was like a Volkswagen. The thing with the rockets on the side of it. He modified.
I don't know. It was like an old car that he had.
Yeah, it was like a 71 or hatchback.
It was like 92. A bat cave. It totally reminded me of Batman. He takes
the
turns base. On all the lights. It's a secret lair. I'm like, oh, you're Batman.
Turns into a DC movie. I'm Batman. You can't see me.
It kind of looks like the Batmobile.
Yeah, with the rockets. Yeah. So they blow up a bunch of cars with Cena's rocket thing. And Mac, you want to explain the fate of Uncle Jacob?
Like I said, got lit up like the Statue of Liberty. I mean, he even did this for some reason. Like
that was so lame.
He definitely died, bro. He got drove over by like 90 18-wheelers and blew up in a van. There's no way. If he comes back in the next movie, I'm gonna fucking lose it.
Dude, he's gonna come back. You forget how over the top this
He's not coming back.
He's not coming back. He will be back.
He'll be that day one John Cena. I know.
I can't believe Dante didn't die in this movie. Like they're actually gonna pay him to do that twice. Like, come on, fucking. But anyway, we're going on 30 minutes. I think we can round up to the epic conclusion here. I think this is probably one of my bigger gripes with the film. Well, actually, okay, we'll break it down a little bit for though. I mean, let us know what you guys think. Did you like Fast 10? I called it Slow 10 because it was 3 hours long and there was all filler in the middle. So when so hard to say this with a straight face, like you're going to tell someone this is a real movie. Like seriously, they put $100 million budget in that. So after they kidnap Little B, I'll carry you guys out. After they kidnap Little B, they attempt to double helicopter. What are those called? Grappling hook.
God, that scene.
He uses his muscle car, whatever that thing is, and hits the NOS. He smashes both the helicopters together. First of all, he drives down on the ground while they're lifting him up with the grapples, and then he's able to NOS. And by him accelerating, Dom Toretto goes so fast. Did you see what I did there? He cracks the fucking helicopters together and kills the two helicopters. What up? SDN said, hi, Mike. I don't know if you know that person, Mike.
Bull. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Mac, you have some gripes with the physics in that scene? Please.
Please.
Tell the audience.
A muscle car taking down an aerial freaking aircraft.
Dom can do that. He's
trying to stay in the air. If you pull it, it'll pull, but it needs to have. Dude, it's a heavily armored helicopter. Come on, man.
But he's got the power of family.
Fast, Mac. The power of family and NOS can get you through anything in life. It doesn't matter what danger you're in, what disaster. NOS will get you out of it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Life.
Throw an extra tank in the back, boys, because we're flying out of here.
Whatever danger, whatever threat, whatever aerial force, vehicle.
No, but I'm just saying though, like you don't think that aircraft? I mean, not the aircraft, the car, the grappling hook that was connected from the car to the aircraft. You don't think that thing would have snapped off based on how heavy both of them?
No, not when Dom's driving. Hello, climax, Mac. So anyway, if you've seen Universal Soldier 1, you know that the Hoover Dam is epic, and anything that goes down at the Hoover Dam is always going to be a legendary action scene. So right when they corner Dom on the Hoover Dam, like Dante's talking crap to him, that's when it reveals that Ames was secretly working with Dante the whole time. Whoa. Spoiler alert. And that's what he says, like, whoa, Dom, wasn't that your new friend? And then they're like, give it up, Dom. You're cornered. And he's like, no, I'm not cornered. You guys should have took my car. And then he drives down. Then he drives down the Hoover Dam in a fiery conflagration inferno, exploding. This is my favorite part, and I'll tell you why. The fire. Oh no! Hold on. We missed a part. I'm gonna revisit this fight. I know which.
Dude.
When he tells his son in the walkie-talkies, Little B, when the car swings, you gotta fly. Well, they do a 180. And his son flies out the car window, just like Princess Leia in Force Awakens, when she flies in the spaceships, and he flies directly into Dom's hand at a high-speed maneuver with both cars 360ing. He secretly tells him in a code word motto to fly when he sees him over the walkie-talkie. Mac, do you have something to add here?
No, I was going to add in perfectly. He did perfectly.
Yeah.
It was
so elegant.
That was
no struggle at all.
Yeah,
that CGI.
And the effects were so awesome as well.
I'm giving him a sin. I'm giving him a sin for that CGI because Vin was able to 180 his car next to the other car, so his son's shotgun directly into his hand. You know what I mean? And he caught him during a high speed maneuver.
Yeah.
That was a doozy. They're never going to be able to do that. So anyway, the part that I don't know if this next part is more ridiculous than that or less ridiculous than that, but when Vin's driving down the Hoover Dam with the explosion behind him, the fire is so hot and it's so fast that it comes in the back of his car and it comes in the back seat. But his NOS device is in the middle of the car. Last time I checked, NOS is highly explosive flammable gas. Well, what do you think happens when Vin hits the NOS? Do you think the car explodes and kills him and Little B? No, it goes faster out of the inferno and safely through the exploding Hoover Dam into the water. Boom! I'm at like a 5 or 6 out of 10. You guys can take it from there. Ratings.
That's government grade NOS right there. Never burns.
Yeah.
That whole final act is just ridiculous after ridiculous. There's the forced insertion of the Mad Max Fury Road scene with Cena, so they can try and replicate the first act. The kid Little B jumping out of the cars. I'm
with
sure
the Hoover Dam drive down.
Yeah, I did like the exchange between Momoa and Dom earlier before that, where Momoa more or less roasts the Fast and Furious franchise, where he says something like your power of family means nothing, something like that. And I think there's another scene where Dom does a cringe line where he says, you have no honor. Without honor, you have no family. I have a family, something like that. And family can't last anything.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hell yeah. Everything God said. Anyway, boys, there's a lot of lines about family in this movie. Let's do ratings. Wall Street, what do you got out of 10?
I got to be honest. I'm at like a 5 flat on this, and I think that's being reasonable. I like the directing. I like the special effects. I like that first sequence. That last sequence was so cringe. The helicopters, Mac, I hated it. The drive down the Hoover Dam using NOS, again, getting out of it, hated it. I'm at a 5.
Wasn't sure with that. Yeah.
I'm at a 5.
Yeah, I'm at a 5 or a 6. I gave it a pity 6. It's got a 6.2 on IMDb. Mac?
I give it a 4.5. And
fair.
Obviously, exactly. Obviously, it isn't. I'd say it's a tad bit worse than the last one, man. I mean, and I don't say worse than worse as in the worst movie ever. I meant like it's more overdone than the last one.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like, his advice to Vin: work on Riddick, but get fast. Definitely. You want to make more fast, nincompoop nonsense, man. You go ahead. More explosions, more dinosaurs, more cars, whatever. More government nuclear explosions where you survive somehow. Yeah. Go ahead. Saving the world, all that crap. But let me tell you, man, at the end of the day, the next Fast movie is exactly how we're going to expect it to be. Like what I found in my toilet. I'm sorry. That is it.
Deuce.
I love Vin, and I love Vin as an actor, and this is what's up. I love him as an actor. It's just like when I see him and stuff like this, it's like, bro, you're downgrading your quality as an actor.
Wasting his talent, but
wasted, bro, wasted. And you could have done it on Riddick, and you could have done it on I didn't want another Triple X or whatever, but shoot, even I thought the Triple X movie sequel was better than this one.
3 was definitely better than Fast 10. We forgot the end credit scene, the return of Dwayne the Rock Hobbs Johnson, and
deal with that, man.
That's kind of weird. That's kind of weird because you guys saw that stuff on Instagram about Dwayne and Vin having those problems on set and not liking each other. Dwayne Vin begged Dwayne to come back to the franchise on Instagram. Dwayne publicly said, I don't like how he brought up Paul. It's like, dude, Vin was actually friends with Paul, unlike you. So, anyone has a right to. He does, you know what I mean? They launched their careers together. And then, after talking all that crap, Hobbs comes back in the last scene I'm easy to find, you son of a bitch. I knew he was probably trying to hold out for the money, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Dwayne's back. Because he wants to hop back. He knows that Vin might retire, so he wants to take the torch and freaking pick up the spinoff. Apparently, there's going to be that woke all-female spinoff, so we'll leave that for you to review, guys.
I can't wait for
burn! I just want to do that. So it looks like Fast made 128.8 million thus far. While the film won't make it across 1 billion on its own, Fast X Racing past the 600 billion mark, puts Fast and Furious franchise past the 7 billion mark. But apparently it's coming out on streaming soon. It grossed 6,335 million worldwide, becoming the fourth highest grossing film of 23. The sequel's development will be released in 2025.
I don't know how it garnered that much, man. For knowing people already know what type of garbage they're gonna watch.
I think it does pretty big in China. Yeah, obviously Han, like he probably got a decent, a fan base up there.
The Europe markets.
Yeah.
And what? Chinese will be coming to new Americans? Never mind.
Exactly. Anyway, so Matt, Gaz, you got your rating? Gaz, the 3.
Well, I've seen some ball ache in my time, and this literally is the king of ball ache.
Yeah.
I'll say this, and I'm going to upset a lot of people. I'm going to give it higher because I recently saw into the Whackverse, to put it more politely, aka into the Spider-Verse Part 2, which I thought was complete butt.
So are you saying Fast X was better than the Spider-Verse? Slow X?
Yeah, it actually is.
Wow.
It actually is.
Wow.
It actually
it beats something. It beats something.
Because at least it's a bit more entertaining. Spider-Verse is so cluttered, man. But anyway, I give it about 4.5. I thought it was better than 9. I thought 9 was absolutely atrocious. Not to say this was good. Look, the best advice I can give people is go and watch it stoned or not sober, and just sit there and laugh your balls off. The cringe dialogue, cringe scenes, the effects in parts aren't actually that great. In parts, the damn scene where we were on about effects weren't good in that. Effects weren't good where the kid was jumping out of the car. Other than that,
because they're just trying things that there's no way for it to look good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
the helicopters are terrible.
It's been like 20 million movies now, and they're going to make another 50 million of them. So it's like, how more ridiculous can we make them? Because that's all we've got left. And I mean, I can't wait for Fast 12. Never mind Fast 11. When in Fast 12, there's a dog that was in Fast 4, and it's a bit angry that Vin come in and knocked its water ball over. So he's going to be in human form in Fast 12, and he's going for Vin. Can't wait for that.
Dom is going to be 60 in Fast 12. Like, little B, it's grandpa.
He's got the power of family, though. He's got the power of family that's eternal.
Exactly.
Mac is right. He definitely should do Riddick. Look, he's not the greatest actor in the world. I like Vin, but the Riddick movies play to his strengths. Minimal dialogue.
Agreed.
Good grimy action scenes. This is just ridiculous. But again, as I said, I want to find out where he got that shirt from. That just stays clean, and he can do this model pose all the time.
You know what? It would have helped this movie a lot if they chopped like an hour of that Charlize Theron crap out of the middle and just went from Rome to John Cena. It should have just went like that, Rome to John Cena, and it would have been sick.
You were saying too. Sorry, Matt. Go ahead.
I actually wanted to talk about that right there, but the thing is, like, that right there actually brung something up. Ross. I'm sorry. But pretty much, don't you guys think that they might be adding a little too much characters into these?
Yeah, I was saying that before you came on, because it's becoming uncentered. But what were you saying before, Mike?
I was gonna say, you and I were talking about, like, drag this movie out. It was 2.5 hours long. And they're setting up all this other, with Hobbs at the end, and same with Statham. Like, why didn't they just combine it into one movie? Like, why does it always have to be a money grab?
The setup.
Them already making a ton of money, and that's
here's the problem on that. So Vin is going around telling so it's apparently supposed to be a sequel, but Vin is going around telling everybody that the studio liked it so much that they want him to make it a trilogy. You know what I mean? It's like it could have been an ending in one movie, a movie shorter than this that's not 3 hours long, and it didn't take 2 more movies after this to explain it either. Especially since the villain is the main character, the villain's character from Seven's son. So we already know that. You don't need to spend 3 movies explaining it to us. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a direct sequel to 7. Okay, we get it.
I feel like that's just their way. I think it's better to just, instead of making an extra character that will make extra characters, is just make an extra character that will pretty much explain the past characters from back in the day, and probably bring in even more extra characters in the next 2 trips.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Guaranteed. Like, God, Brie Larson, and I totally forgot her. There's so many forgettable characters, and like Scott Eastwood should have got more shine. Mm-hmm. Didn't even remember Brie Larson. There was so many characters that, like, if you watch this movie once, there's no way you're going to remember all those characters. There's at least 30. You know what I mean?
Michael Rooker.
Yeah, Michael Rooker's dope.
Mm-hmm. That's the problem with Into the Spider-Verse too. I know it's going into the different versions of Spider-Man, but the movie I felt was too cluttered, and it made it hard to follow, and that's what's happened with Fast.
And then give me an idea for a Fast sequel. They go into the multiverse of Fast and try to stop the
like Helen Mirren. Helen Mirren is like a big serious actor, you know what I mean? And she just plays that tiny role in this movie, you know what I mean?
But remember, Dom, if you're gonna keep saving the world and run into a burning building all the time, one of these times it's gonna come down on you.
Mm-hmm. Not on that shirt though, and even if it hits that shirt, it's the shirt's invulnerable, so it will take no damage. Anyway, y'all, that's our Fast X roast, aka Slow X. What are we doing next? I don't think there's anything coming out for a long time. We'll have to go back and do some old stuff. I was thinking about getting some Kurosawa going. Zodiac Files episode 4 coming soon. Just shot it.
What was your rating for WAC 10, bro? Curiosity.
Mine, I gave it a pity 6, but I was like around a 5. I gave it a 6 because of Momoa. There's the Meg 2. Oh, I'm interested in checking out Killers of the Flower Moon, Mac. I don't know if you saw the trailer for that. DiCaprio and Scorsese. Gaz and I did John Wick 4. You guys could check that out on the channel. And yeah, that's it. I don't know what we're doing next. Leave us some.
The Flash, maybe.
Yeah, maybe the Flash. Yeah, I'd be down for that.
It's got Michael Keaton in his Batman.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Worth a look.
Yeah,
worth it just for that.
Yeah, I don't think the Flash could
Mac, didn't you want to do Transformers? Rise of the
Beast. Yeah, the new Transformers, aka the Beast Wars prequel.
Yeah, I don't know. I see. And then, Expendables 4 trailer's out. You guys can let us know what you think. God of Egypt. I don't know what that is, Rick, but we'll check it out if you can.
Oh yeah, God of Egypt. Is that the one with
Jared Butler?
Nah, man, nah.
No, is it the Jared Butler one?
I'm gonna roast that so hard if you.
I don't mind Butler sometimes.
I like him, but
no, it's not the act. It's not just the actors. It's just more like that movie.
Wasn't that like wasn't that like the whitest Egypt ever, where it was just like all
basically
European actors?
That's the controversy around it because it was like white actors playing like
super whitewashed Egypt.
Yeah.
To be fair, it has a good opening sequence where Butler's talking to Set on a pyramid ship in space, so there's the good kind of ancient astronaut reference there. That part is good.
Nice.
And to be fair, I haven't watched it for a long time. The effects were good, I think, but it is a ridiculous movie. And you're right, if they'd focused on the Greek, I've forgotten their name now, what they called it, was it
mythology?
Egypt, possibly. The Greek of Egypt.
We got the Flash. We got Indiana Jones and the Diary of Destiny. If you guys want to see that get roasted, there's the Forbidden Kingdom.
We're gonna have to do that. Ford's so old.
I've heard concerning things. There's the new Mission Impossible. I need to catch up on the old ones. There's Oppenheimer.
There's a good one, peeps, man. Want to check out for the viewers. Blood and Glory on Netflix, which is kind of a Sisu kind of World War II movie. That's not.
Yeah, I want to check that. I
don't know if Beetlejuice 2 comes out this year.
Ooh,
that'd be sick.
I hope it's good. Equalizer 3. We can get Equalizer 3 on here. Hopefully, if it's good. I think that's Expendables with a 4. Concerning trailer, but we'll see what we can do for you guys. And that'll take us to October. Killers of the Flower Moon. The Exorcist. How many times are they going to do that?
Too many.
Yeah. If it's not the original, I don't care. Dune Part 2, November 3rd. We'll definitely be getting Dune.
When's Killers of the Flower Moon come out, bro?
The release date on
October,
here is right around there. Yes,
I'm just wondering. Yeah, it should be in
October
theaters,
6th.
So see that. Yeah,
October 6th.
Definitely do that, man.
Yeah, definitely Dune 2. All right, guys, like, subscribe, share. Zodiac Files 4, episode 4 coming soon. Buy the comic book. Links in the description. Wall Street, Mac, Gazbutt, Ross, Diesel, Fast X. It was Slow X family.
Buckle up.
Peace.
Better buckle up, Rick.
You have all the money in the world, but you'll never